Hey, my friends. In case we have not had the pleasure of meeting, I'm Mary Rose Wood. I'm the author of the Incorrigible Children of Ashton Place books, and I'm also the author of Alice's Farm, A Rabbit's Tale, which just came out. Listen, today's Halloween, and every Halloween I think of this wonderful illustration by Eliza Wheeler that appears in one of the Incorrigible Children of Ashton Place books. It appears in the Interrupted Tale, which is book 4 of the series. I always have to check. And I thought, just for fun, that I would read you one of the scenes from the Interrupted Tale that reminds me most of Halloween. If you're reading along at home, this scene begins on page 160. This is a scene that takes place when the Incorrigible Children and Miss Penelope Lumley go and visit the Swanburn Academy. The Incorrigible Children have been dressed up as ghosts, so they have sheets over their heads, as you can see in the picture. And they've been doing an experiment in the chemistry lab in which they've invented some very interesting flavors of candy. Do I smell candy? A voice roared through the halls of the school. It was a furious voice, and it grew louder and more furious with each apoplectic word. There is a rule about candy, and the rule is this. There is no candy allowed in school. None. If anyone dares to object, they ought to come see me right now. Obediently, the children bolted in the direction of the voice. Children, stop! Mind the goo! Penelope cried. But it was too late. The Incorrigibles had raced out of the laboratory, leaping neatly over the broken glass, but leaving a sticky trail of orange footprints behind them as they skidded into the hall. There they crashed headlong into the source of the bellowing, a tall woman in a fur cape who now lay sprawled on the floor with 3 orange-splattered ghosts hovering over her. Boo! They cried. All 3 children moaned spookily and waved their arms beneath the sheets. Boo! Boo! We want candy! 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 Take off those ridiculous outfits at once. Their victims snarled, unimpressed. Is that any way to greet a baroness? Baroness Hoover! Penelope yelped. And indeed, that is who it was. The Baroness and her husband, the Baron, were close friends of the Ashtons, although even Lady Constance found the Baroness a chore to be around. Penelope had met the haughty Baroness on several occasions, and each time she had disliked her more than the last, a trend she feared that was about to continue. We are ghosts, Alexander explained to the capsized woman. Sheeted ghosts, as in Longfellow, Beowulf explained. He means Hespelwoo, Cassiopeia added, for indeed sheeted ghost was a phrase taken from The Wreck of the Hesperus, an absolutely thrilling poem about a shipwreck that the children knew quite well. But the Baroness had no appreciation for poetry, or so it seemed. Even as the boys helped her to her feet, she sneered. Bad manners, dreadful noises, illegal candy-making, and you are out of uniform as well. It will have to go in my report. Sheepishly, the children removed their ghost costumes. Miss Mortimer stepped forward. Baroness Hoover, greetings. I'm afraid you're early. The cake is not until tomorrow. Allow me to present Miss Penelope Lumley, a Swanburn graduate of great accomplishment. These are her 3 students. The Baroness waved her hand dismissively. No need to make introductions. I have met the Wolf children and their earnest young governess before. Such strange pets the Ashtons keep. Ever mindful of his manners, Alexander offered a sweeping bow. I like pets, he said gallantly. For example, Nutsawoo. Also, for example, Bertha the Ostrich. The dignity of Beowulf's bow was marred by the appearance of Chantalou, Miss Mortimer's cat, who had emerged from the shadows and now rubbed against his leg in a ticklish fashion. "Tigers, too," he said with a giggle, and gave the little striped cat a scratch on the head. "My, for example, is woofs." Cassiopeia curtsied as she yapped. By woofs she meant wolves. Keep in mind that wolves do not generally make desirable pets, nor do tigers, ostriches, or even squirrels for that matter, but the incorrigible circumstances were unusual, and their taste in animal friends is in no way meant to serve as a model for others to follow. However, bowing, curtsying, and handwritten thank-you notes are always appropriate, and are as appreciated nowadays as they were in Miss Lumley's day, if not more so. "What about chickens?" The Baroness grinned wickedly and licked her lips. "I hear there is a whole chicken coop full of tasty poultry right here on the grounds of the school, plump and delicious with their juicy fat chicken thighs just waiting to be devoured." The children's eyes grew wide. A sheen of drool appeared on Beowulf's lower lip, and Alexander made a soft mucking noise under his breath. "Talk of chickens is best saved for lunch-time," Penelope interjected. "If you will excuse us, Baroness, the children have their schoolwork to attend to." "Schoolwork? Sit, stay, and fetch is more like it." The Baroness turned to Miss Mortimer. "I am here on board business, and at the chairman's urgent request. I require access to your office. I need to see the files." Miss Mortimer's eyebrows lifted in innocent surprise. "My door is always open, Baroness, but what files do you mean?" "The student files, of course." The Baroness flicked her cape in annoyance. "Surely you keep files on your students, medical records, test scores, birth certificates, that sort of thing." "Oh, the student files, of course, we do keep such information, but my office is about to be painted, and all the files have been packed up for safekeeping." Miss Mortimer smiled pleasantly. "They must be in storage. I do not know exactly where they are." The Baroness's eyes went cold. "I suggest you locate them immediately. If you cannot find them by the end of day tomorrow, we will conduct a thorough search of every square inch of this school. We will pull up the floorboards and slit open every one of those ridiculous pillows, and that would be most tedious. It would make a dreadful mess, too, since the pillows are stuffed with feathers." Miss Mortimer bent low and scooped Chantalou into her arms. "Children, do you know what sort of sound chickens make? Show the Baroness, please." "Buck, buck, buck, buck," the incorrigibles clucked, proud to know the answer. They flapped their arms like so many tasty chicken wings. "Buck, buck, buck, buck." They flapped and buck-bucked all around the Baroness until she threw up her hands in a panic. "Keep those incorrigible chickens away from me," she screeched as she escaped down the hall. "Find those files, and no candy!" I hope you enjoyed that scene from the interrupted tale. And on behalf of the incorrigible children and myself, I wish you a happy Howloweeny.